best childhood growing up. See my brother go jail at a very early age in my life.
Wow.
Dad weren't in my life at the time. So for me, it was tough, you know. I didn't have positive male role models at the time of when I needed them. If I can come through that, I always wanted to just be a positive male role model for young girls and young boys.
Lamar Russell is an entrepreneur, community leader, and best-selling children's author who turned adversity into a mission to inspire and uplift others. From a challenging childhood to surviving life-altering setbacks, Lamar's journey is a testament to resilience, faith, and the power of giving back.
I'll say from like 15 to 18, those 3 years were either I go the right way or the wrong way. Seeing what that life does, it's not pleasant.
It's not glamorous.
It's not glamorous at all. When you're in it, you think it is. Then when you take a step back and see, you know, friends dying, people go to jail left, right and centre, you start to realise that there's more to life than this. So that's how I found my purpose. I realised the impact of me going into school, and also representation matters. So a young boy, a young girl that sees me, that's been where they've been, I can get through to them. I feel like affirmations is key, very key, and I just really wanted to just drum it into them. So definitely, so yeah, a lot of it's also linked to my childhood where I needed books like that. It's not how you start but how you finish, and I feel like it resonates to a lot of people.
Lamar, welcome to the pod. You are a man of many talents. So I want to start by just introduce yourself, bro. Introduce yourself, bro, and talk to us about some of the different roles you have, because I hear you're an author, business owner. Let the audience know who you are, bro.
Yeah, so I'm Lamar Russell. So I'm a, entrepreneur, best-selling author, children's author, 3 books. I'm also around the youth organisations around London, Buckinghamshire now, different places in, England. I'm also a public speaker, so I go into a lot of primary schools, and just helping young people understand the power that they have within them. And yeah, I do a lot. I can't even remember. I know I do a lot. Because my wife is always saying you need to slow down. So So.
Bro, I love it. So yeah, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're an author. What was the first one? Sorry?
Community activist.
Community I love
leader.
it. But before we get to that, let's take it back. That's Lamar of now.
Yeah.
What is the Lamar of old? How is it that you got to this point? Have you always wanted to give back? Can you talk to us about your early life and maybe what has led to this?
Definitely, I've always wanted to give back due to the childhood I had. I didn't have the best childhood growing up, where, a lot of domestic abuse at home, very present in the home. So yeah, see my brother go jail at a very early age in my life.
Wow.
Dad weren't in my life at the time. So for me, it was tough, I didn't have positive male role models at the time of when I needed them. So, I always just wanted to, if I can come through that, I always wanted to just be a positive male role model for, young girls and young boys.
I love that.
So,
and just on that, not having those role models and with all that stuff you went through, if you just take us back to Lamar at that time, how did it impact your schooling? Did you know kind of what you wanted to do when you were at that age?
Just football, to be honest, but I was a very angry young boy. I used to have a lot of intervention work, even in primary school, from such a young age all the way up to high school, just to help me, my anger and my behaviour. So, and that's, going back the times we're living in now, where a lot of young boys they class them as bad. I class them as misunderstood. So I'm glad I got that intervention I needed, that someone to look at me is no, he's not a bad kid, he's just misunderstood, and help me to understand myself as well and what I can do despite what I've been through. So it's important to have that.
I love that. And what age would you say that happened, that intervention?
So for primary school, I was early, from probably 8 years old.
Wow.
And then all the way up until my high school.
So
from
there
year
was
11.
repeated
where I was getting
and you mentioned football.
Yep.
In terms of academics, was there any thought as to okay, if I do well in this,
yeah.
like, what is it you wanted to do when you were younger?
Just football, to be honest.
Just football?
Yeah, just football.
Wow.
So I started at the age of 5, you know, playing for local clubs, and then, you know, doing well, where I managed to get a scholarship to America
Wow.
at the age of 18.
Oh, okay, to do college there.
Yeah, to do
Wow.
college there.
And what was your scholarship in? Obviously, you're doing football.
Yeah,
But what are you studying?
so
What you doing
psychology,
there?
psychology and counselling.
Okay,
So
sick.
yeah,
And then, like, I know a little bit, obviously, about your story.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there 4 years,
supposed
but
to.
you're only there for 2.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying?
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah, like,
yeah.
what happened?
So what actually happened, so first I got a scholarship for JUCO, which is a 2-year college, because obviously my grades weren't the best.
And JUCO
so
is junior college.
junior college, yeah.
I watch a lot of Last Chance
Yeah.
U, so I know about that.
So that's junior college.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, done well. And then I actually got offered a 4-year university in my first year.
Wow.
Due to, you know, how well I was doing in terms of performance. My grades were actually good now. So I got, offered into a 4-year university, one of the biggest Christian universities in America. So yeah, that was...
And then you got offered the 4-year.
Yeah.
Do you go?
No.
So you don't go?
No.
So what is it that leads to you not going?
So I'll tell you. So the first situation I had where I was in a house fire,
Wow.
that was
In America?
in America. Yeah, suffered very, very bad 3rd-degree burns, my hands,
Wow.
my whole thigh. So I was in hospital for quite a while. It could have been longer, but a family in St. Louis, where I used to live, opened their home to me and really looked after me. Like, it could have been bad where if it got infected, they would have had to amputate my hand.
Really?
That's how bad it was. So
Oh my days.
this family literally looked after me. They changed my bandage every day, and if I was to show you how it looked, I'll show you pictures after, or even if we can clip it in.
Yeah.
They had to change that. Everything, my whole stomach is full of fire.
Wow.
And 3rd-degree burns. So I've got every single burn, 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd. So that really affected me, and I'm a goalkeeper. So
Okay.
when I did go back after about 6 months, tried to put my hand in the gloves, swelled up.
Oh no.
And my coach, because I didn't tell my coach
Did
this
you not?
happened. No,
Wow.
I didn't.
And-
So
and why not?
Because this was also, it kind of fell in the right time where we was off for a very long time. See, in America, they're off for
Big summer
big
holidays.
summer holidays.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. So yeah, when I came back now, he was like, 1, I looked overweight, and 2, I just weren't the same. Like, he was like, what's happening? You're not diving or anything. Truth be told, I couldn't. Like, my legs was just full of bandages, my hands, stomach. So
Did you ever tell him, your coach?
I did eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
That same training session, I opened up to him,
Okay.
and he just couldn't believe it. Like, yeah, he couldn't believe it.
And
So he was kind of emotional, to be honest.
I mean, I can imagine. And yourself, was it an emotional conversation for
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, you know, if I was going to go back to England, he was going to be like, you know, there's no point you being here. So that was a very tough moment in my life. And that's why I kept it away from him for so long, because it was the unknown of what will happen next.
And then what did happen?
And then, yeah.
next?
So there's a thing called a red shirt in America, where basically 1 year you're not eligible to play. So you get back that 1 year, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
So,
I do.
which, yeah, was very nice of him to do.
Okay.
So I just trained, didn't play, because you're not allowed to play if you're red-shirted. And then obviously he was just in school.
Okay, so at this time, right, because I asked you, did you have an idea as to what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
And you previously said football, right?
Yeah.
Now, football seems like it's...
It's coming,
it looks like it could be coming to
Yeah.
an end. So, like, take us back to what's going through your mind at that
Yeah.
point. Like, how is it you're thinking about your future and what it is you're going to do
Yeah.
next at that point?
I'll say that was one of the darkest moments of my life, because it was the unknown. I haven't been in this place before. I have to think about, you know, alternative, what I'm going to do in life. You know, I've always wanted to give back, but I always felt like football was going to be that main focus where I could give back
Yeah.
through football. So that's what I was relying on. So it was tough. I had many conversations with my mum. She was obviously one of my biggest supporters. And, you know, she was telling me, you know, just giving me a lot of advice in terms of, you know, I've got a gift where I'm able to reach out to people. So she goes, sometimes this happens in life. And then, yeah, obviously I'm a man of God as well. So I was just confiding in God a lot, just asking him, you know, what I should do. And yeah, really just reaching out to God in those moments.
So, okay. And like, it sounds very deep, right? Like,
Yeah.
All right, so you reach out to God.
Yeah.
Like, how is it you transition from studies into like your original line of work? Because you're doing so much now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there are going to be people who are listening to this who might have wanted to be footballers or maybe are not sure as to what it is they do.
Yeah.
How is it you made the transition?
I made the transition. Obviously, I heard from God telling me to, you know, football's not going to be it. But in terms of, I just thought, because I was in a very also suicidal place, and you find that a lot of young boys that don't make it in football, or could be any sports, where you find a lot of young boys and girls committing suicide because they feel like that's the end of their life. For me, I found purpose in those moments where, you know, I was like, you know, I'm good at other things as well. You know, I was good at writing, I was good at mentoring people, like young kids, especially because before I went to America, I used to mentor young boys and be a football coach. So, and I just thought back, like, the world actually needs me. I feel like it would be selfish of me to, you know, just to take my life. I've got such an amazing family around me and support system. And yeah, I found my purpose through those darkest moments. Just had to be still and really, really, you know, just think what I can do. And yeah, I'm here today. So.
Wow. And like with everything that you do, like, you know, you introduce yourself as an entrepreneur, as an author, as a community activist. Like, at any point, were you, like, did you have any like jobs where you were working for people, or did you just set up your own stuff from the bat?
Yeah, so before I went, obviously I was working. So I used to work for a football club called Wembley FC.
Okay.
So when I came back, obviously I just carried on coaching.
Okay, for
and
Wembley
then
FC.
And then obviously I applied for schools to do like coaching in. So I got that. Then from there, I just started to build my own thing, my own platform as well, going into schools through my own youth group organisation, and then
you know, going into schools.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're sharing your story. What is it you're doing when you go into schools?
Yeah, so mentoring, counselling, coaching, so all those three.
And with that, like, why schools? Like you said, is it the calling you had from God? What was it that pushed you to want to go into schools?
For me, because that's where I had my greatest impact, where sometimes school, especially now because I'm in it a lot, it's like very systematic. So it's like you're in a prison. You can't, it's not like when I was in school where you can't have that teacher that's like a friend anymore. So I realized the impact of me going into school, and also representation matters. So a young boy, a young girl that sees me, that's been where they've been, I can get through to them better. And it just breaks up their day where they're having a stressful day in school. They come and see me, and they just literally offload everything that they're going through. And I find that it helps a lot.
I like that. And then, like, for people who, you know, they might think that they have a similar calling of like going into schools and offering that mentorship. How is it that you got into it? Like, did you just were you emailing schools? Did you just walk into schools? Like, how is it you went about sourcing those initial schools?
For me, I'm a very like bold person where I'm not afraid to send emails to 1,000 schools and DMs, and one will say yes. And once one says yes, then, you know, you've got that on your CV where you can say I've been into schools, I've been into this establishment. And yeah, from then that's what happened. I got so many no's, and then I got one yes, and that one yes opened many doors. So yeah,
1,000 emails, eventually the no's will turn into a yes. And then, like, what motivated you to become a children's author, right? Because it's no small feat.
No.
I've actually had authors on this podcast previously, and we've spoken about that process, and I know how grueling it can be.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to me about what made you want to become an author.
Going back into school, so I went into a lot of primary schools and mentoring kids, and for me it was just how they deemed themselves, like they were very negative towards them at such a young age, and I was just so shocked. Like, a lot of them calling they're saying, "Sir, I'm dumb, I'm not smart enough."
Really?
And I was thinking, where's this coming from?
Yeah.
You know? And then, just seeing how young people learn. Everyone's different. So some are visual, others practical. I found that such a young age where a lot of young people love to read. So that's where my passion came from, is literally just looking at them and what they need in the society, more positive books, more books that represent them. And that's where I was able to get my ideas, like, cool, let me start. And I was, of course, had fear, of course I was stagnant, procrastinating about it, but I had to think, if I can put this out, even if I save or help one young person, then I've done my job. So that's how I look at it.
I love it. And yeah, just a few questions around that. So first off, you mentioned you got 3 books.
Yeah.
I know 2 of them, Young King, Young Queen.
Yeah.
The third one, I'm not too sure on the name.
Yeah.
But they're all centered around, like, affirmations.
Affirmations based.
Yeah. Can you share more around that concept and why it is the books are centered around affirmations?
Yeah. I feel like affirmations is key, very key. Even us as adults, it's massive. So from a young age, if I'm able to install affirmations into them, they're going to remember at least 1 or 2. It's going to stick with them.
And affirmations are like, oh my God, you're so smart.
Yes.
Like, basically words of encouragement. Yeah.
So that is where I wanted to, and I just really wanted to just drum it into them. So just about speaking positively to themselves, because as they grow up, the big wide world, it's not nice. So if they can...
I'm sorry to cut you up there. And is it, like, linked to your own childhood where maybe, like, you felt that you could have done some more affirmations?
Definitely. So a lot of it's also linked to my childhood where I needed books like that.
So basically you have released books that you wished younger you had access to. Right?
That's
and it. And just... Actually, no, let's stay on the book, because I could go everywhere. All right, so you wanted books that younger you had access to. And then, am I right in thinking that you self-published the first book?
Yeah.
So how long did it take to do that?
Yeah.
And what is the process of self-publishing, right? Because it's crazy.
Yeah, that took a while, because I'm a picky person. So I'm just not going to put out anything. So I had to find an illustrator and just go back and forth, find the best one that fits what I want to do and what I want to get across. So that was very hard, finding an illustrator. Writing obviously weren't hard, because I already had it for quite a while. It's just the illustrations that I wanted to get on point, which was the first one, Young King. So how a young boy was to just look at themselves through that book, were they able to relate. And so I wanted to make it as real as possible. And then eventually found the right illustrator. And then that process was quite long, because I went through Amazon, KDP.
How many books did you end up printing? Roughly
almost 1,000 books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally self-funded as well. Wow, that's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. And then Young Queen obviously came out after that.
Yeah.
And then you've just had one that came out towards the end of
Yeah,
last year.
More Than Enough.
More Than Enough. And with all the books that you've released, what has the reception been like with them?
To be fair, I didn't expect the reception to be like this. Like, it just, really blew up. I know I've got supportive people around me and a community, but that weren't my intention of, make it as a bestseller. So it was just amazing to see, and the response from parents as well has really been, emotional to me, and warmed my heart of what it's been doing for their child. So
Man, and with that, like, do you have plans to release more books?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely in the
Working
future.
on any at the moment? Or?
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got so much.
So much
I'm
going
doing,
on.
so
Okay.
So I'm just to let it manifest, and
I'm actually gonna skip back, right, because you know we spoke about the fact that the books were something that you hoped that younger you could have had access to.
Yeah.
So if we go back to like your childhood, right?
Yeah.
Because you've obviously got the scholarship, you've had all of these opportunities, but home life obviously wasn't that great. You know, you mentioned some of the abuse.
Yeah.
Like, were you involved in like gangs and stuff when you were younger? You mentioned the fact that your brother was in prison.
Yeah, I got caught up at the age of, I'll say from like 15 to 18, where those 3 years were either I go the right way or the wrong way.
Yeah.
And at the age of 18, that's when I gave myself to Christ.
Okay.
But before then, it was not looking good. Yeah.
And like, there are going to be people who listen to this who they might be going through something similar.
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned there giving your life to Christ, but it wasn't like a one-off moment, right?
Nah.
So in the 3 years, to anybody who's listening to this looking for direction, what led you to that moment?
I've seen what it does to people. I've seen what that life does. It's not pleasant.
It's not glamorous.
It's not glamorous at all. When you're in it, you think it is. Then when you take a step back and see, your friends dying, people go in jail left, right, and centre, you start to realise that there's more to life than this. So that's how I found my purpose, where I was like, I've actually just can't waste my life like this. Like, it feels like I'm just throwing it down the drain. And one thing with me, I've always wanted to make my mum proud. So I wanted her, like, she's done so much for me, so I just wanted to repay her everything that she's done and just make her proud.
I love that. And then question, like, because it's one thing to like give your life to Christ and say, all right, I'm done. But when you make that decision, there are going to be people who make that decision, but their friends are still in that life. So for somebody who makes that decision, are you just out, or is it something where over time you kind of you don't always make the right choice, but you make the right choice more and more frequently?
Of course. And that's what it was like after I gave my life to Christ. Some people, just didn't even speak to again. It wasn't even a thing where, we just grew apart. Like, they know the pathway that I was on. And then some of my good friends that were in that life, selling drugs, through my story and my life, they gave themselves to Christ as well. So it was like I was that light in the darkness where, I needed to be around certain people for them to change. And
And with all of that, like, I'm sure that's played a part in like your community activism. So in terms of some of the community outreach that you do, can you share some of what you're doing in the community at the moment?
So a lot of it is a lot of like knife crime work, mental health, but most of all really just pouring back into my community. I'm from Harlesden, Northwest London, so
that was nice.
It's a very
so just
bringing positivity back into Brent, and helping parents as much as possible. Like, we run summer programs for free. We do so much, so it's just really giving back.
And with things like the summer programs, is it what you'll get funding from organisations, and then you take that funding and you put on like the summer activities, and
community events.
And with those events, obviously, if they're attending your events, they're off the streets, and they're not doing anything badly. And like, just talking about like more of the activism piece, like what are some of the challenges that are facing young people today?
So much. There's a lot, and obviously the ones that get brought up the most, obviously social media. COVID had a big hit on young people, where some are still recovering from it, the disengagement with society, and also opportunities. There are opportunities out there, but it's about finding that access and that door to where opportunities can be open. So that's the three that are.
And I think that third one is like really important, right? Because, you know, hopefully there's going to be a couple of people that listen to this who maybe they struggle with finding that access, and they're looking for it. For those people, where is it they can find those opportunities? You know, for those people who are feeling helpless.
There's quite a lot, like, especially if you're a young person, there's, you know, if you're going to school, if you're going to college, there are professionals like your teachers. If you just be bold and ask them, how can I do this? I feel like that's fear as well, where a lot of young people don't ask. They feel like they can do it by themselves, which I find. So even with me, my young people, they don't even ask me, but I'm like, come to this event with me. Come to this event where they're seeing people that they see on social media, big names, and they're seeing them in person. And it just opens their eyes, like, wow. This is possible. And that's how I get through to a lot of them. I bring them to a lot of events with me. I'm putting them in rooms and spaces where, as you said, they know it could be possible.
I love that. And like, do you feel like there's a responsibility on, I suppose, more people to reach out to young people and get them to do more?
Definitely. My favourite quote is, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. So we need everyone, the community, to pull their weight. Because I find, like, even when I was in school, I didn't know, they were like just random people that cared about me. But I find like nowadays it's not really a sense of a village, you know, and I feel like that's what young people really need, is a village. And that will help them a lot. Because you just never know who's going to be the person who makes the breakthrough. Because I think sometimes there's the same people that try, but they just don't have like you said, they might not be from their background, they might not be from their area, might not be from their race, but if everybody keeps trying, eventually one person is gonna make that breakthrough and help someone to turn their life around. That's it. And like with a lot of the community stuff that you do, is it done with the people that you grew up with? Is it done with kids who you've like helped previously and now they've grown up and they're trying to give back? So how is it people can get involved? So most of them is who I've grew up with. And so we've just really built that solid team. But we have a lot of young people now that are come up through us, doing well in life, and now volunteering with us, and some are obviously have a salary as well. So they've come to us, they're like, they want to get into this, we help them, put them on courses, and then they're now giving back to the community. And when you say put them on courses, is it for anything in particular, or is it like they'll register an interest and it could be a course for anything? They'll register interest. So let's say youth work, put them on youth work courses, and then obviously youth work you need a lot of things to be a youth worker, so that will also put them on like mental health training, knife crime training, so things like that.
And with everything you've mentioned there,
Yeah.
like, do you need a university degree? Like, because, you know, there are going to be some people who,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I didn't get the grades, or maybe I wasn't doing too good. I don't know if, like, I've got what it takes. Like, do you need to have that qualification?
No and yes. I honestly, no and yes. I don't want to get told off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say no and yes. Obviously, I didn't finish university.
Exactly.
But I'm at where I'm at due to graft and obviously God as well. So yeah, but there are a lot of things available now where you don't actually need to go to university. Okay. So much courses. Even to be a social worker, you don't even have to go to university anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's so much avenues to actually, for a lot of things. I think it depends on what you want to do in life, of course.
But I think sometimes people need to hear that, because I think sometimes people think that it's almost like something's too far away. And it's like, even just hearing that, oh, maybe I don't need to go uni, maybe I don't need to get into the debt, maybe I don't need to do the 3 years, maybe I just need to find the relevant resources online. I think that's like really powerful, because to your point, you didn't finish, and look at where you are with a bit of hard work. And I think sometimes people get bogged down in the journey and the process, rather than thinking about you know, where they're trying to get to.
Definitely.
So I think it's like a big thing. Yeah. How do you balance all of your roles, right? Because you know, we've spoken about entrepreneurship, we've spoken about being an author, we've spoken about your community work. Yeah. How do you like balance and prioritize?
At times, it's very tough. Especially, most importantly, I'm a family man.
Father,
and a husband. So I have to make sure that they're the priority. Then everything else comes after. So even with me, like my diary, I'm in charge of my diary, so I can set times with family time, and then work. So I just try to, you know, balance to the best of my ability, but make sure that they are the main priority. Yeah.
I love it. And with your little one, with everything that you've obviously been through, like, and to anybody who has little children, and they're trying to steer them down a different path to something that you know they had growing up. Like, what is your advice, and what is it that you're doing?
For me, obviously, didn't have a father figure at that age, so I just give my son my everything, my love, my time, and I just really want to be the best dad to him, and most importantly, that role model where he don't have to find a role model outside of the home, that, you know, he can say to someone, my dad's my role model. So there's little things where even me just treating his son, treating his mum well, like even when I give her a kiss, he's smiling. So little things that we don't understand, that, you know, babies pick up things. Me being affectionate to his mum, me being affectionate to him, it makes a big difference. So
it's just like the little subtle things. And like, to your point, like you just said there, we don't know it, but kids pick up
everything.
So it's like, you really have to be mindful as a parent, as a sibling, as a community member, that like the way children especially see you interact, it's going to shape their interactions with friends, family, potential partners moving forward.
One day. That's exactly it.
And I, like, you've been nominated for Role Model of the Year and like so many awards. Like, what do these recognitions mean to you, and how does it influence your work?
When I first got nominated for one, for me, I was just like, because I'm not in it for none of this
and stuff like that.
I'm not. I'm really not. But it does make you wonder, like, the work that you're doing is impacting lives. And even the last, got picked up for a Role Model Award again, and a parent messaged me, was like, I'm the one, because I got an email. So she said, you should have an email, I'm the one that put you forward for this award, and literally it was like an essay of why she put me forward for this award.
Yeah. Someone you don't know.
It was a parent.
Oh,
so one of the parent of the young people I mentor.
Okay.
But it's because obviously how much I've poured into their children's life and where they're at now, doing so well. So yeah, when it comes to things like that, it's like, it's emotional.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow.
I love it. And like with everything that you do,
Yeah.
like where do you see it going in the next 5 and 10 years? Like what are your goals? What are your ambitions?
I always say to people, I want my young people to be in the spaces that I'm in consistently. So when I go to these events, that they're there. Employment is the biggest one, so helping them when after you get to a certain age, help them, into employment. And yeah, I just want the community to be a great place. Just everyone just working together, and yeah, but that's my main focus, is helping young people after they come up through the programs. Is what next? Because I find a lot of the times where young people come up and they're stuck of what to do in life. So I find that the mentoring is great, counselling, and then as they get to a certain age, that employment where I'm able to put them in the right directions. And yeah, I find that even a lot of people around me now, they have the access to help these young people, whether it's, barbering, I can point them in the right direction, whatever entrepreneurship, I can point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Tech, I can put them in the right direction now. So it's me also building my network around me so I can help these young people around me.
Yeah, and like to somebody who's listening to this, and they're looking for like an immediate action or piece of advice that they can take in action, like what would you say to them?
Is there a particular age?
Let's go 16 to 18. Where you were before you made the change.
It's a tough one. And it's cliche to say, because these words, it gets thrown around all the time. But you have to look at people that's done it before you. A lot of young people love social media. And they see these people that have done it in terms of whether it's a footballer from your area, content creator, they literally started off exactly where you were. And it's possible. I feel like young people need to realise that anything is possible in life. And with hard work, dedication, you showing up, you'll do it. You'll make it happen. You'll get there.
And just on that, like you mentioned social media. Like I'm a big believer in what you said, right? That anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
But do we feel sometimes that social media is also
definitely.
It's like a double-edged
sword?
It can be, and that
I
sometimes
get there
people are aspiring
for
things that are unattainable, maybe not even healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe not even healthy to aspire.
And I think we've all been there as well, where we're looking at people that's in our field that's killing it, and you're like, wow, a little older than me, I'm not doing enough. Yeah. So I can imagine how these young people feel.
And when they're feeling like that, how is it they overcome that?
Yeah. I think you need to realise that the journey that you're on is powerful. So we're all on different journeys. And, God's made us how we are for a reason. So I feel like you take certain things from certain people. Yeah, you idolize, young people idolize certain people as well. But just understand that the journey that you're on is different. And you can get there, but just through a different route. So yeah, it's just about what's the word? It's just, it's what you consume.
Okay.
Yeah, don't consume too much.
Yeah, you need to consume the right things. And then, just finally, like, obviously, throughout this conversation, I've heard you mention God a few times, which I'm a religious man myself, just finding my way back to the church this year, I would say, which amazing, has been really nice. Yeah. Obviously, you had that pivotal moment at 18, But what would you
Yeah.
say it is about religion which has helped to like center
Yeah.
you and calm you? And this isn't like a everybody needs it,
Yeah.
but what has religion, how has it impacted you?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Massively. Like, as I said, at the age of 18, if I didn't get baptized or give myself to the Lord, I don't think I'll be sitting here today. And even with the work that I'm doing with working with hundreds of young people and families as well, that it helps. It helps. By the way, I am just very calm. And also a lot of young people, they don't even know, but I pray for a lot of them. All of them. But yeah, it just gives me more of a sense of a purpose and, you know, hearing from the voice of God what he wants me to do rather than what I want to do.
And just on that, like, you know, speaking, I know that, like you said, you had anger when you were younger.
Very bad.
Now you're very calm, right? You're very stoic.
Yeah.
Like, was it like an overnight thing, or is it something
No.
that has been
Yeah.
honed over time?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Like, just every day, just working on myself, becoming a better version of myself. And I'm very hard on myself, so very, very hard on myself. So if I've got something in mind, I'm going to do it. So that's one thing I know I needed, you know, support and help with my anger. And yeah, every day I just worked on myself to become this calm young man that I am today.
And like with you, like, you know, your mum,
Yeah.
even your wife, like, in terms of just finding out about God,
Yeah.
was it a youth worker? Was it something that was always in your family?
It was
How
my
was
mum.
it you came to know? So
It was
your
my mum, yeah. I grew up in church. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
And then you just go your own way, find yourself. And then, yeah, she got baptized a few years before I did. And then, yeah, it was actually New Year's where I thought she was going to take me to, like, watch the fireworks. She brought me to church.
Night vigil.
Yeah.
Yeah, crossover.
Yeah, the
service,
crossover. And then that's the service I gave my life to Christ. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So definitely it was my mum that led me to the church.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, as we wrap up this, and I do have one more question, but like, is there a message that you'd like to leave with listeners?
Yeah.
Or young people
Yeah.
who might be facing challenges or self-doubt?
Mm-hmm. I have a quote. I have a few quotes that helps me on my day-to-day. One is, your inner stance determines your circumstance. So how you see yourself, how you view yourself, what you think about yourself, what you think about, you know, whether it's your business, education, it determines of, you know, the outcome. So it's about pouring into yourself consistently.
Mm-hmm.
No one else. Of course, you can get compliments, but it's about pouring into yourself. So that's why I live by, your inner stance determines your circumstance. And that's what it means. And
any others?
yeah, I have one that I love. Probably if you look at my Instagram caption, it's not how you start, but how you finish. And I feel like it resonates to a lot of people, especially me, how I grew up. And a lot of young people, you know, have been in the same situation I'm in, going through abuse at home, dad's not around, the feel of neglect. But you need to understand that, yeah, it's not how you start in life, but it's how you finish it. So
I love it.
You can be that change.
And just for like people who are looking for help,
Yeah.
and like resources,
Yeah.
are there any like particular resources that come to mind where, you know, people can potentially go read up, find valuable information that could help them immediately?
There's so much out there now. In terms of, let's say you're going through depression, even if you was to type in Google mental health crisis, it comes up with everything that you need to know. With anything, you type it in Google now, don't you know, if you know that, and literally it comes up.
It's like AI.
It's AI
summaries.
Yeah.
I do know.
And yeah, just speaking to someone makes a big difference. Going back, I mentored this girl in the school, and the other day, it's summer, saw her arm for the first time, literally cut up, trying to commit suicide, and the first time she really spoke about it was to me.
Wow.
And she just felt that weight off her shoulders. So, even if you trust one person, it's so important just to speak to them, because that can be the difference, and that's what helped me.
Do you know what? I agree so much. And one thing I'll say is that I think everybody is their own main character.
Yeah.
And because everybody's their own main character, what seems like the end of the world to them, it's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
When you share it with other people, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
I think is that how the saying goes.
Yeah.
And you really do realise that things aren't as bad as they seem.
Yeah.
I've had it in the past myself where growing up in a Nigerian household, scared to tell my parents something because I know I'm going to get in trouble. But as soon as you actually tell them, they're like, was that it?
Yeah.
And then they just keep it stepping. And I think sometimes we think that we can't, people won't keep it stepping, but they will.
No,
and I don't think that enough people know that. And they catastrophize to the point where sometimes there are catastrophic consequences.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to get to that.
It doesn't. But I also can understand why a lot of young people don't share a lot of things.
Because sometimes it doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
But yeah, to your point, if you can, find that one person that you can confide in.
Yep. Definitely.
Like what a conversation. A question I always like to finish on. Like, knowing what you know now with everything you've been through, what advice would you give your younger self? And would you still be doing the same thing?
Yeah, I definitely will be doing the same thing. That's one. But I would tell my younger self, I'll tell my younger self that also it's okay not to be okay. Going back to what we just spoke about, where I was battling a lot and holding it in, which didn't help in my later stage of adulthood, due to just holding a lot of things in that I've been through when I was younger. So yeah, just realizing that, it's okay to be okay, and it's also okay to be different and express yourself. And yeah, so
I love that. And you mentioned the fact that you held in some of this stuff even till adulthood.
Yeah.
Is this something that you've come to terms with now through like counselling? How is it you've managed to overcome this? Yeah.
So counselling.
Is it something you? Okay, so I think this is every time I think we're going to finish, there's more to talk about. But I think counselling is a big thing, right?
Massive.
So some people might not think that counselling is for them. Like, was there a moment where, like, what was the trigger point for you going to counselling, right? Because have you always gone?
No.
Or is it something that's happened recently?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's happened, should I say, in my 20s. I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
Because I had to think about myself, but also my wife, because I've seen so much in my life, I know I needed to get the right help so I can be the best husband to her. So yeah, even my leader in my church, speaking to him about certain things and just getting that advice and support, it's helped me.
And that was going to be my question. How good has counselling been for you?
Amazing. Like, life-changing, definitely.
I had somebody on the podcast who said everybody should get counselling.
Everyone should.
Are you of the belief?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yep.
Even if you don't think you need it, just get it, because you just don't know what could be unpacked. Yeah.
I feel a lot of people don't understand as well, like, certain things, how they are, could be a trauma that you haven't even unpacked yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important.
Yeah. My wife is a social worker, actually, so I didn't actually say it. And a lot of times, if you see behaviours, shall we say, even if we watch it on TV, she'll be like, that's probably somebody who's experienced trauma. So yeah, when you mentioned that trauma informs a lot of actions, it's something I'm familiar with, but I think there might be people who aren't so familiar with it, and maybe going to counselling might help to unearth that.
Yeah, definitely.
Lamar, man, wow. We've unpacked a lot there. For anybody who wants to learn more about you, more about the community stuff you do, the books that you've written, where can people find you, bro?
So Lamar Russell, which is my Instagram, LinkedIn, so LamarRussell, and then my youth organisation, Connect Stars, so CONNECT Stars, STARS. You'll find the work that I do.
I love it. And then just before we go, is there anything I've missed? Is there anything else you want to let the audience know before I close out?
I would say that after the house fire, I was also in a bad car crash.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So that was another thing as well.
After the house fire?
After I recovered, I got...
UK or US?
USA.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You was in a car... And I listened to you on Endless Race, so I know.
Yeah.
How many of you were in that crash?
3.
Oh my goodness.
So one of my closest friends driving, my other friend, he was in the passenger side. I was behind my friend driving, and my friend that was on the passenger died.
Oh my goodness. And what happened to you?
I literally broke a leg. Yeah, just broke my leg, and that was it.
And with that, oh my goodness, as I'm hearing this, man, this is crazy. Like, you break your leg. Mm-hmm. What's your mental state, right? Because the person who is in front is no longer there. Yeah. Like, can you talk us through what happened?
Obviously, it was a lorry, so the impact was on his side of the car. That's why, I weren't seriously injured. I'm a good friend driving. All the impact was on this side, so it was like I woke up, and I woke up with the car literally on its back. So I crawled out of the car, and then the first thing with me, I think about others. So I'm just making sure my friends are good, and then my good friend was like, "Come, Lams, come over. I don't think he's alive," and then at the scene, he was pronounced dead.
Wow. And this is whilst you're still studying?
Yeah, whilst I'm still studying.
Is this whilst you're still like goalkeeping as well? So,
yeah.
And this is
so
after
this
the
is
fire
now obviously
as well?
Obviously I'm redshirted.
Yeah.
But as I'm still recovering, with my burns, this happens.
And like, what's your mental state, bro? Because
yeah.
You've obviously, like you said, you were in a very like low moment, and then this happens. Like, how is it you find the strength to endure?
I think, as I said, support network is so important, and that's when I really saw what support can do. Like, and also with God's helping me and giving me the strength to get through. And also even my friend that was the driver, he was a Christian as well, so that helped a lot. But it was when I saw my mum literally break down on FaceTime because she almost lost her son twice. Yeah. She was like, I think you need to come home. Like, that was it. And that was literally just before I come back to England as well. That happened. So I was going to come back to Christmas I was going to come back to England for Christmas anyway. And then, I came back, and then I just didn't go back to America.
Wow. So
that was the choice I made, where I could have gone back, but I was like, nah.
Wow.
So that's,
And then, like, you kind of almost like you closed that chapter in your book. Have you ever been back since?
All the time. I've got a lot of family out there.
Okay.
So, I'm going next month as well.
Oh, wow.
But it's not St. Louis. I haven't been back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis was where all like the traumatic things happened. So
and
I haven't been back there yet.
Do you think you could ever go back?
Definitely. As I said, my good friends out there, the family that looked after me. So I definitely want to go back there and just visit them.
Oh my God. I got so many And like, so the family who looked after you, were you staying with them when the crash happened?
No, because I was
Back at
recovered,
school.
so I was back. Yeah. Yeah.
Man. And then, like, so the decision to not come back, was it just made when you were back in the UK?
Yeah.
And like, why is it you said no?
I just feel like it weren't God's will. I feel like God was telling me something where I needed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's evident I needed to be here because of what I've done since I've been back. So yeah, he really just gave me that purpose when I was here, what I should be doing. So that's when I started going into schools, coaching.
And from coming back at Christmas
Yeah.
to going into your first schools,
Yeah.
how long was the period between? Like, did it take a long time
No,
for you to break?
literally, I probably started in February.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it was like, okay,
Yeah.
you came back,
Yeah.
you made the decision to stay,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, in January I proposed to my missus. So we was doing a long distance
wow,
relationship in America.
wow.
And then when I came back, January I proposed.
So you really came back and like
In full effect.
everything was a go.
Yeah. And then that year, August, we got married. So
Wow.
we coming up to 5 years now.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
And like, so the leg break was the only thing.
Yeah.
Fully
that
recovered
was fully
from that.
recovered, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So these things can happen, but like you say, it's not about how you start.
Yeah.
It's about how you finish. Lamar, man. This time it is the end.
This is the end. That is
but
it.
no, thank you so much for that, man. This has been super insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And to those people who've gotten to this point in the podcast, you know, if you're struggling, if you're looking for advice, if you're trying to build your network, you know, feel free to reach out to Lamar. Feel free to reach out to myself. Make sure to leave a comment, you know, at WMBFD Pod. And with that, guys, it's another episode of What My Best Friend Does. If you didn't know, now you know. Now go outside and take some immediate action.
Yes.
Over and out.